And when you reach out into your Morris estate, and then you realize like, oh no, there's definitely a real effort to making everything that's ill.
Ew.
Bro,
That's a fact.
they like once you step into being a Moor, now you're like,
You
damn,
noticing it.
I am ill. Like you walking around like, damn, everything we do is ill. My favorite thing, my favorite thing is the whole cover up. Right? We just read in this book, Mississippians 10,000 years old traveling from Mississippi to Venezuela and where the Guatahata Bay, Siboneyes or Caboni or the IT Empire, the Creole Empire is in the book and everything. It's like when you see everything from that perspective, it's like we haven't been given enough examples of who we are if we don't look for it. So when you find out that you're more, this it doesn't stop. It keeps going a lot. It keeps going more. And then you find knowledge itself, and then you hit like a whole nother pocket of amen. You hit a whole nother pocket of love, which is again another tier of more. It just keeps going. Like when I went to Cuba, bro, I was looking at everything from a Moorish perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have folks in there that was asking me like, yo, what is that? What is that on your head? Like, why are you wearing that? And I would tell them, I'm like, Morisco. Oh, I like that hat. What's a Morisco? And then it just keeps going. Like, have you heard of amor? ¿Sabe qué lo que es un amor? ¿Sabe? Moreno, moro, more. Like so many phonetical sounds and examples are outside of the territorial boundaries of these United States that's so targeted against making melanated folks look a certain type of way.
Yeah.
But it's all over the world, bro. It's not just like I see cats every day. My favorite thing that they always tell me is that Americans got no culture, and I'd be like, which Americans are you talking about? Because I could show you more of America. Like I could show you more Americans before United States, and you're gonna look stupid as fuck because your whole flow is our flow. Like you came, most of the cast that's coming over here, they're coming over here because of us. They ain't coming over here because of anything else.
That's a fact. And they learning how to rap. They learning how to play
How to
basketball.
dress.
But one point that I brought up about there is a Moorish culture that they bastardize and have commercialized and they make money off of, but we don't claim or even understand how ancient it is the rapping and the ball playing and everything that we do as a hobby. That was what we was doing when the Europeans got here. That's what they seen us doing. Rhyming with words. We was poets. We had troubadours. We had all of that. And we had musicians. And we had ball games. All different types of ball games. Soccer already existed. All of these games already, some shape or form already existed. They just have been commercialized, taken, commercialized, and used to make money off of and give us the scraps.
What are some like activities that you do to your music specifically right now to 100 more? Like, what are some of the things that you do? Because it's for me, it's a gym track. It's really a gym track for me. Like when I go to the gym, I gotta listen to 100 more. That's
100
it's
Moors is definitely
like
a gym
what
track.
kind of activities do you do with that? Because
I
another
work out
yeah,
with
go
100
ahead.
Moors. 100 Moors is a dope workout track. It definitely, like I said, it's the warrior drum. Like the cadence and everything was set strategically. Everything I do, like I said, has occult science, Moorish science, and has a strategic form to it. I don't do nothing without really having that type of strategic to it. You know what I mean? So, like there's so many things why I made it. You know what I'm saying? Brothers, get ready for that time. I envision whether I'm here to see it or not, or whether I'm here to experience it. If there's ever a time where we rise up, 100 Moors will definitely be one of those songs that they be playing for the brothers to be working out to and really getting their mind right to and really getting ready for all, not just physical war. You know what I'm saying? Physical war is just, that's like, in 2025, physical war is not even happening. Like Kanye said, the war is digital right now. So it's just any type of war. We in a war within themselves, because we at war with ourselves first and foremost before we even at war with anyone else. So 100 Moors brings that out as well. It's a self-reflection. You know what I mean? But one point I really want to bring about with the 100 Moors too is when I said that in the federal penitentiary back in let's take it back to BGF back in 86 in the Fed penitentiary, you know what I mean? Any one of those dates, 76, 66, that's any one of those dates, like there was oppression, you know what I mean? And it didn't matter what gang you in, it don't matter where you was from. Once you come in, you fall under the banner of Melanated Brothers, which they call misnomer the Black Guerrilla Family, you know what I'm saying? But now we have other cars and whips to protect our melanated brothers that's still connected to a circuit of melanated people being unified on the front inside the institutions, because there's a racial gap between the Europeans and the melanated brothers, as well as the Latin speaking peoples. They have their own society and own way of running things, and they protect their own. But that's what 100 Moors is all about. So when we talk about drill culture is gang culture, and gang culture is prison culture. You understand? They all connected. So I wanted to do a song as the big homie of my community. I think it was important for me to set precedents the way I could, because what I'm doing, I'm like I talked about it before, I'm carving something that only I can do. You know what I'm saying? My resume is good. You know what I mean? My respect is good. My love is good. They love me in my community. You know what I'm saying? And everybody that know me have seen my development and understand where I'm at now. So I'm one of the unique ones from the era that I come from that's able to speak right now and do what I do from a New York standpoint. I'm coming from a real unique standpoint. All the prison time I've done, all the relationships the people I've met, the things I've experienced, these are all things that set the tone for me. So don't ever look at my life and be envious of my life, and don't be jealous of no man's life, because everything that they've been through is unique to them. And you're going to go through things that's unique to you. And you're going to be someone that's a leader in your own right with your own gifts. We're all born with gifts. We're all born with, you know what I'm saying, extra capabilities, and it's up to you to find your purpose and do that. So that's what that is, man. That gang culture. I just want the young brothers to know that's in the gangs. I said it in the song. When you get in most prisons, state as well, not just fed, state as well, is you go with your own kind. You understand? You don't mix and mingle, because you get yourself real caught up real bad. So that's trickling out to the street as well. So that's another reason why I did the song, because these beefs, these racial beefs that go on in the penitentiary spill out into the street as well. And we need to be aware, and it needs to bring awareness to what's going on, so we are able to protect ourselves, because we got innocent civilians that's out here that don't know what's going on, don't have nothing to do what's going on, and they're being affected. You know what I mean? So 100 Moors is to bring awareness to that, bring unity, you know what I'm saying, amongst the Moors.
Yeah, that's beautiful, bro.
Well,
and when I be teaching, a lot of times I get the very clear view as to like where somebody's estate is. So when you say, going back to this word, like 100 Moors, right? I believe it's the Black's Law Dictionary.
That's a fact.
It says, for what does it say, for the bays or a bailiff has 100.
The law enforces
100. That's where you got that from? 100 Moors?
Nah, 100 Moors is something
that flowed,
that song, the beat. I'm a writer to the heart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't care about rappers that go off the head. That's dope. You know what I mean? But me, I put that pen to the paper, and I like to because there's kinetic energy in
For
writing.
sure.
There's kinetic energy in writing, so I like to really put that pen to the paper or that pencil to the paper, and really put my thoughts down on paper and electrify and magnify them. And the beats call to me. That's how I create my music. I create my music from the beats. They call to me, and that beat called to me. It called 100 Moors. And my nephew too, as well, Zakai, my nephew Kai, you know what I'm saying? Shout out the BX boy, Kai, you know what I mean? He played a lot, he had a lot to do with it too, because he brought that young energy to me while I was doing it. And me and him was vibing to it, and you know what I'm saying? All that was a factor, a benefit factor, but definitely the music is what brought out 100 Moors.
Yeah, I like what you said about the pre-sun, right? It's like last time I got interviewed, they asked me what language I speak, and I had to say like Moorish, Latin, Spanglish. You know, so when I'm saying pri, it means first, a cousin, and then sun, sun, either the helium in the sky sun, or we're talking about like an air. You know what I'm saying?
So
When you
look,
say that,
the gods
I'm
be
like
the gods in Brooklyn. Son, that's where that comes from. The gods in Brooklyn been saying son, calling each other son, and look, Meth said, I call my brother son because he shine like one. You know what I'm saying? So it's intertestamental. The English language is a bastard language. We know that. Its derivative
yeah.
is from Moorish
When
Latin.
you brought up and particularly that superstructure of the pre-sons, which is what those reservations are, because a lot of folks are play hating on the fact that I could show them in this book right here in Cuba, 10,000-year-old Mississippians, right? 10,000-year-old Mississippians, and you're gonna tell me that you don't know what a prisan is? Like you don't know what a Moor is? When I say like when you said right now, oh, we got the Latin community in this prisan. When I went to Cuba, that's essentially what it is. It's not just a prison complex. It's like literally like a mind state of mind complex that people is like literally carrying, and they literally just like speaking it out their estate. That's all they know. Like, oh, so you kind of black, but you kind of Latin, but you're Cuban, and then like once they start doing all that type of shit, I just punch them right in the face because it's like, yo, like, how much more evidence do you need? You really want me to show you? Like, you really want me to? When I be showing people like this whole construct of like what a Moor is, I leave them with their jaws open and they just holding the phone, just looking at me like they just get stuck. I wouldn't be surprised that at some point Moors they start talking about the knowledge and people just start fainting, like just falling because of the fact that what you said right now, the Latin community and then this community. When I went to South America, or when I went to both Borica and Puerto Rico, and when I went to Cuba, both places, I literally was living in like a Latin king's paradise. Like I could see, like I grew up around that shit. So I seen how them brothers operate, and essentially it's the same shit. It's the same thing. When I'm over there, the government is literal Latin kings. It's not like Loganguero Latin kings, but it's literally still the Latin kings. Like they still on that shit. They're still using fucking horse. They still riding horses. They still got Fords from the 30s. They still like got colonial pistols, and they still speaking Latin. Like they still speaking it. So when motherfuckers is out here acting like, oh no, he's Latin. Which Latin are you talking about? Which American are you talking about? Like which Negro are you talking about? I can show you a whole bunch of Nikuses. Yeah, you want to see Abu Bakari? You want to see Montezuma? Who do you want to see? You want to see Amaru Tupac? Like which one do you want to see? Whichever time frame. And
That's all.
it just blows my mind.
Those are all our ancestors.
Like, how the fuck you gonna act like you don't know what a Moor is?
Because you know what though, mainstream media don't. They push Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and no disrespect to those brothers. Those brothers played prominent prominent figures in certain times of our history, but we don't get no other history. But there's other great people from our empire and from our ancestry, like who you just said, Amaru Tupac and Montezuma. Those are all our ancestors. Those people are connected to the Malian Moors. The Malian Moors is connected to Kemet. So there's a connection. But America we're finding out, all of us are finding out, not just me, that there's settlements and structures that predate the Great Pyramid, the Egypt's oldest pyramid. Why isn't that in mainstream academia? Why isn't that being taught? So we have to realize and understand there's a reason why these things aren't being taught. You know what I mean? And the only way to do that is to use music, books, media. That's what Noble Drew Ali used. He used media. We need to follow in the same footsteps as far as our movement of information of truth, because it cannot be denied. It just needs to be us that champions it. And 100 Moors hopefully will be your anthem every morning when you get up, and that'll be your turn light switch song. That's the song you turn on when you're about to, write an affidavit, or you know what I'm saying, you're about to go and make a special appearance. If you make special appearances, you listen to that 100 Moors, man. You listen to that 100 Moors on your way there. It's a fact.
Absolute. I had another question for you too.
I want to get into the second verse. I said some things in the second verse.
When you said right now about like why isn't the education teaching that, one of the things that I write about in my novel particularly was how there's clearly an indoctrination going on. Like it's not hard for me to see that I was moored on the earth plane according to Sister Roz Bay, in terms of like being navally moored, and now I'm using ecclesiastical or Sharia law to essentially like navigate,
the planet
elevated wise, or as an Elohim, right? And I'm like thinking about it when I went to school, right? They don't teach you to love being American, bro. They don't teach you to love being Moorish either.
Portals up and down the eastern seaboard. The Bermuda Triangle marks the line of a lot of spiritual and esoteric portals.
That's why
That's
they're
what
all
people
rich.
don't understand. New York, Boston, Jersey, all the way down to Florida is all a portal. Atlantis, because we from Atlantis.
You saying
port?
That's what I'm saying.
Port.
Like this is literally the port. Like we're talking
Now,
about
portal would be the port for spiritual.
Yeah.
It's a spiritual port.
Yeah.
So if you're traveling spiritually, you use what? A portal. If they time traveling, they have to go through a portal. Port. P-O-R-T. Airport.
You know what's crazy?
Airport. Boats, port, and dock.
Facts. You know what's crazy? I always tell my brothers that I teach that's from Asia, North and South, you exploring your estate to them, speaking to my nationals, they're exploring their estates, Tipu Sultan, Maurya, Ashoka, right? Genghis, whatever. They're exploring their estate, meaning that they have the money and the opportunity to go from Asia to Europe or Asia to North Africa to come to America. But the brothers over here, we so rich in Port Rich, Puerto Rico, or the port of America, rich port. We so poor here. I mean, we so rich here at the port that we can go to any part of the world. We make it richer over there. We get richer, and we exploring our states from a limited standpoint, meaning that we are oppressed here. Like people have their hands in our pockets, because if we go to any of their places, when we come back here, we always double up, double R. Like we always get way more money. Jimi Hendrix, Anybody, any great explorer, all these other people, they twisting it in the history, making it seem like there's no American bloodline. You know what I mean?
Of course, there's American bloodline.
That's what I'm saying. They're trying to make it seem like everybody else was born in every other civilization outside of the Americas.
And
like,
America was just wilderness.
And we're talking about a territorial jurisdiction that encompasses all of the Roman letters. All the Roman letters, all the mathematics, all the sciences, all of that shit is ours. So literally everything that uses Roman letters, wherever that is, if it's a T, if it's Tartary, if it's D, as in Elohim or the or theology, that's our jurisdiction. So these people are fucking bugging. They're crazy when they.
That's crazy. So the Moors,
Yeah.
it run deep than just nationality.
Absolutely.
So that's something that 100 Moors is like bring to. That's powerful. What he just said, all that information. Now imagine that average Crip of blood fluent in this information right here.
The things that you brought up right now, that I want to say particularly is that I appreciate you when you make your music, because you an MC. You know, you actually rhyming, and that means a lot compared to a lot of the cast that's out right now. There you go.
Oh yeah, the blicky.
Yeah, because we, as much Moorish science is not just Moorish Spanish history. It's not. Moorish science is also hip hop and MCing. Like, you literally still embody it in the flesh as a Moor today doing Moorish things. When you say I got the blicky on me, that's your right. When you read that, enforce the Constitution, that's the Second Amendment. But the First Amendment is the right to assemble. We're doing that right now. To fellowship, to make money, to be uninterrupted. And on top of that, KRS, hip hop, that's Moorish science.
That's Moorish
Those
science.
are lessons that we get in, right? So when we listen and he talks about, you're essentially like, the only gun I need is my mind. Some Moors is really on that level that we never ever, like, that's why
I'm on that level. I'm there.
No, but being a national, I understand that some of us is so rich that it's like we never ever gotta even sweat. Like, bro, it's such a privilege, especially for a young cat like myself, to be intellectually a Moorish teacher, and I don't have to be on that type of time because of the fact that I know how to make money.
Yeah.
And there's so many young brothers that, like I said, they're on the opposite side of the spectrum when it comes to the perspective and the hypnosis with the message, that they don't understand that you need to get your money. Like, you have to get your bag up, and you can't be on the type of time of, blood poor when you listen about it. When the blood pours, I'm not thinking about it from the standpoint of like blood falling on the ground as an action verb. I'm thinking about it when the blood pours, right? Poor bloods, people that don't know how to be rich.
Fact.
People that's poor. I'm not thinking about verbs. I'm thinking about words, and I'm thinking about the gun. My mind is the gun. If I look at everything from a Moorish mindset, literally your mind starts to become lethal, bro.
Nah, that's a fact.
Lethal.
That's a fact. And I do want to say that for all the fans and followers and people out there, my music is a part of me, and there's a truth aspect of my music, but I do my music for you. It's entertainment. So there's aspects of me that's amplified in certain ways. That's only entertainment. It's just like me in a movie. If I was an actor and I was playing a certain specific part, each song is telling the story and has a strategic alchemy to it that's trying to bring a message or connect with someone, or you know what I'm saying, do what music does, cure. So understand that the real me, you would have to get to know me to get to know the real me. Like, you know what I mean? So I tell brothers all the time, like, I don't even use guns no more. You know what I mean? I have a wand. You know what I mean? I've been taught by the teachers of the occult science. I know that I don't need nothing. All I need is my lips. My mouth is the most powerful thing. Whatever I utter comes. And guess what? The things that people that do me wrong, I don't even have to do nothing to them or say anything. You heard? So when you get to that level, and you're protected and respected by the divine, and you have I would say spiritual reinforcements, life is just
angels,
purpose,
angles.
That's all it's angles. That's all you got to do is find your purpose. That's what people need to realize. You don't worry about nothing. You right where you supposed to be, because if you wasn't, you wouldn't be there. You only there on the strength of Allah. Allah is the all-knowing, all-controlling. If you think you have a choice, but you ain't controlling nothing, that's one thing we have to understand. We have a choice that's given to us, but you don't control nothing. There's other principalities and fire, air. Let's just break down the primitive principalities that are alive and intelligent. Fire is intelligent. Water is intelligent. Air is intelligent. Land, the trees are alive. It's intelligent. So you have to know and understand that until you tapping in, Avatar is not just a movie. Until you tapping into that intelligence, you're moving about the planet like a zombie.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Both eyes closed. Another point of the song that I wanted to do, we're going to wrap it up with the ending of the song, is I gave a shout out to Chad Boswick. Rest in peace to the Moor. You know what I mean? And he was a talented brother, and cancer took his life, you know what I'm saying? But the Black Panther reference is important because they always show Black Panther with the Imperial Army of women, basically as his bodyguards. Of course, that's how they write and wrote the script and wrote the comic book. But in all reality, if you do the science and if you Google it yourself, the creators that even tell you it's really based on polygyny. It's based on those his wives.
Estates.
Those is his wives, and wives are basically the creators of estates. Absolutely. Through their womb. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Women are the creators of estates. That's why in ancient Kemet, they are the throne. They are considered the throne. A pharaoh can't be a pharaoh unless he has a throne to sit in. So unless he is sitting in the lap of the queen mother, empress, goddess mother, then he don't have no power. That's the science with Jesus on the lap of Mary. It's the science of that. The woman is the throne. Her brain, her uterus, her womb,
her lands.
Because
we saying China, America, Cuba, everything that has an A at the end of it, Europa, Asia, feminine. Everything is feminine. Elizabeth, Khalifa, Alabama, right, Maryland. All of those places where we're literally saying, like, these are the queens that we just gave the names to the place and we impressing them.
So that's what I want. I want us to set precedence right now for those that's watching, right? Moorish science is the elevation and the veneration of the Queen Mother Goddess who has all given us up. You understand? Honor thy mother and thy fathers.
That's so important, bro.
This fez I wear, so people can't tell me that polygyny and ancient African culture demonized women. European culture demonized women way more, evidently way more than African culture could ever do, or indigenous culture could ever do, or would do.
Bro?
None of that is true.
You know the placenta actually is the man's.
Wow.
I just learned that recently.
Oh yeah. I did hear something like that.
And
before.
I've gotten this before. I'm like, this is essentially a product of, they say umbilical cord and womb, which is very logical.
This is the woman we wearing on our head. So for you to be who you are, and the fez is sacred. So if the fez is sacred, the woman's sacred. Absolutely. The divine feminine is sacred. Polygyny is not about demeaning no women. It's not even about men. Polygyny is a secret society of royal women who know that their offspring and the lineage of their empire depends on their unity. And these women stick together, whether in secret or in public, and they move as a unit to make sure each one of those beings that came from their womb has the best chance of survival or running an empire or kingdom. Or, like I said, because it wasn't just royal people doing it, it's all the way down to the commoners, because it was all about collectivism and unity.
If you notice as well, like as a merchant or a modern day Moor in America, we're doing business, and a lot of the sisters are the reason why a lot of us even have opportunities. To be real with you, like in all the institutions, I need paperwork done. I need a passport. It's most likely it's gonna be a woman serving you your food. It's gonna be, the one sending emails for you. We essentially gotta be in our administrative capacity, whether it's for the phone or whatever. So
the divine feminine
the
is
more
needed.
fine honeys in your circle, the more money you're gonna have.
That's just what it is. That's just what it is. So for me, doing hip hop and being a rapper and doing music back in the days when I was coming up as a youngin', it was a lot of bitches, and I used to talk about womenizing women, and I'm having sex with this one. This is what I rapped about and bragged about in the lyrics. This is what I did. Yeah, brag about meeting chick, hitting it and dropping her, moving on to the next. Like, this is what we listen to still to this day. The Drakes and all the rest of these cats, most of their lyrics is womenizing women, and y'all love these guys. Y'all love this music. But soon as I come in a song and talk about my wives and us basically learning self-defense and
read the Zodiac,
me teaching them how to shoot and all that. What is he talking about? Oh my God. Come on, cut it out. Where are you? What really does make sense? Are you with love, truth, peace, justice, freedom? Are you with collective? Are you with the people coming together?
Yeah, you really got to see them.
It doesn't make sense.
Especially you got to see the signs for what it is in terms of like your power, where your power is at in terms of science of like honoring thy mothers and thy fathers through the knowledge of what they have. For example, I work with a lot of nationals in South Asia that they constantly doing these zodiac arranged marriages, and it's working for them.
We was doing, that's our science. I just said that. I said, yo, when I get my community, you know what I'm saying? Even in my own marriage,
you gotta know your sign.
We have to people, this is another thing, etymological word breakdown, right? In linguistics, church means, so all you Christians out there that's watching, church, word, the derivative, the original meaning of the word before the colonists used it, flipped it, and bounced it in their Webster dictionaries and thesauruses. Church means to consult the stars. That's oracle. That's an oracle. That's an astrologist. That means you're going to the stars for answers. What we've always done. Every religion is based off of astrological placements and positions of stars and planets. Your holidays,
temple,
birthdays,
your temple.
How could you be a Christian and you say, yo, astrology is evil and we're not supposed to be dealing with that, but you celebrate birthdays?
Yeah.
Birthday is a certain position of a planet at a certain specific time every year that you celebrate.
Yeah.
But it's all based around positions of stars and planets at certain times.
All constitutions.
Every holiday.
All constitutions, bro. Like the word even temple, temple, iglesia, church, English. That's common law.
So it's all cloaked under. So you can't use it to empower you as an individual or as a society. So it's time for the truth to be told, and it's time for truth speakers to activate, which I love it. That's what's happening. So 100 Moors is that song that I would like for the truth speakers, the truth seekers, and the truth bringers to use as an anthem. 100 Moors is an anthem. Wow. So that sums up the whole song for me. You know what I mean?
Absolute, man. And have
I
more,
got
have
100
more Moors,
Moors.
have more babies, bro. Bring
Yeah,
100 of them.
I mean, if they trying to kill us off,
Bring 100 more.
for me, my personal battle is everything that they doing. I'm going backwards with it. Just like they took everything we was doing and they took it is reversed.
Yeah.
Because when you start to study indigenous culture,
$100 more,
everything's
100 more
reversed.
children.
I'm reversing everything. So if they want to create abortion clinics and kill us off, they want to give us diseases and kill us off, I'm having way more babies, you heard? And I'm teaching them Moorish science, you heard? And I'm teaching them self-confidence. And I'm teaching them love, truth, peace, justice, freedom, self-defense, you heard? And to always look to Allah and be under a great spirit, my indigenous American side ancestors call it the great spirit, Adonai, Elohim.
Yeah, you gotta embrace your nobility, like you said, freedom, right? And
because that's where it come from. It don't come from Earth. We don't come from Earth.
Exactly. When you said
we come from somewhere else,
you
baby.
said exactly. You said freedom in Latin, libertad or libertad, right? And Spanish, if you libreta, it's a book.
It's a book.
Pretty much, you know.
What bag is more important and better? Is it the drug dealer bag?
Exactly.
Is it the owning 5 McDonald's bag, or is it
health.
A royal
health.
estate of kings, emperors, health. Gods and goddesses?
Salud, yeah.
You don't even understand how wealthy you are.
Yeah.
Gold and silver is just the frontier of it. That's not even talking about the alchemical wealth.
Yeah.
But like he was talking about the health and the spiritual wealth and the guidance and everything that their ancestors left along with the wealth. Why would you want to be a nigga? Why would you want to run around nigga this, nigga that, sell drugs and live in a designed lifestyle? These lifestyles that we living out and playing out as niggas and bitches are designed for us to play out, and we play them out to a T. So now it's time to be who your ancestors were. That's what honoring thy mother and thy father is, to be who your ancestors were.
Yeah, do that in
be
the private,
royal.
Bro. Keep that shit in the
be
private.
royal. Be royal. Come get your wealth, man. It's a pleasure you having me, man.
100 Moors,
100 Moors, man, all day. Somebody tell the Lord, I got 100 Moors. Yeah. If the blood pours, I got 100 Moors.
Absolute.
Islam.